without so much as a warning, life hangs in the balance. Human endeavor turns to chaos. And within seconds, nothing will ever be the same. Ever. Prepare to experience some of the most jaw-dropping destruction ever captured on tape. You'll witness the explosive climax of an out-of-control fire at a Texas chemical plant. And a stuntman's attempt to jump over 4 tractor-trailer beds goes terribly wrong. It's intensity for your TV, and it's called Destroyed in Seconds. Fort Worth, Texas. A 5-alarm fire breaks out at a chemical storage facility. The plant stores thousands of gallons of highly volatile chemicals, like kerosene and sulfuric acid, in dozens of pressurized tanks. The tanks are designed with emergency release valves. When pressure builds beyond a certain threshold, the valve opens to release gas. This helps prevent the tank from exploding. But the fire is so hot, the gas is expanding faster than it can be released. Pressure inside the tanks continues to build. The blasts send chemical drums hundreds of feet through the air. Several land blocks away in nearby neighborhoods. Heat from the massive fireballs can be felt nearly half a mile away. Everyone within a 5-mile radius is told to stay inside and avoid breathing the toxic smoke, which can be seen in Dallas, nearly 30 miles away. Officials from the Environmental Protection Agency use an airplane to assess the fire. They determine that it's best to let the chemicals burn themselves out. Firefighters set up a perimeter and wait for the explosions to subside and the flames to die down. After blazing for 4.5 hours, the fire finally burns itself out. It's believed the blaze started when static electricity ignited the volatile compound methanol as it was being offloaded from this 18-wheeler. All 17 plant workers are found alive. 4 are taken to the hospital and treated for minor injuries. The plant itself ends up a charred wasteland. Why would anyone want to jump out of a perfectly good airplane? Tim Bernard is a professional skydiver with over 10,000 jumps under his belt. And he does it just for thrills. From aerobatics, to sky surfing, to downright crazy. Tim pushes the limit to a whole new level of extreme. Even his landings demonstrate daredevil precision only an experienced adrenaline junkie could dream up.
Homie, watch out. 10 minutes, first response.
The dirt ain't bad.
Tim has also seen his share of near misses. Even chutes packed properly can malfunction. Today, Tim is at the World Free Fall Convention in Rantoul, Illinois. His stunt? Parachute through the open doors of an airplane hangar, circle around inside, and fly out through a completely different door. All this while never letting his feet touch the ground.
I should be able to pull this off. This should be a pretty good stunt, just a minor carve, no big deal. But anyways, if I crash, make sure you guys don't shy away. Turn on the cameras, because if I'm gonna crash, I want it on tape, big time, okay? Hang tight, we'll see you out there.
At 13,500 feet, Tim jumps. It's not long before he reaches terminal velocity. He deploys his chute at 5,000 feet. At 1,000 feet, he has the hangar in sight. His approach must be precise. He has to enter the hangar at a 35-degree angle. Tim miscalculates the angle of entry. At 65 miles per hour, he has no time to correct. His parachute hits the door. His chute collapses, flipping him through the air. He goes from 65 to 0 and slams into the concrete floor. Friends rush to Tim's aid as he lies motionless.
I broke something.
Tim's hip is broken in 7 places. It takes 10 hours of surgery to reconstruct. Tim still skydives today and still takes plenty of risks. But now he does it with steel plates and 33 screws attached to his hip. Stuntman Brian Carson thrills audiences. By always pushing the limits. In Dodge City, Kansas, Brian attempts to jump 120 feet over 2 tractor trailers, then land wheels up on some jump cars. But Brian comes up short. His car lands on the track upside down and instantly bursts into flames. Brian survives, but not without a compound fracture to his right arm. Just a few weeks later, Brian is back on the track in Charlotte, North Carolina. Even though he's nursing a broken arm, Brian is about to attempt an even more elaborate jump. Using a specially modified stunt car, Brian plans to leap 250 feet over 4 tractor-trailer flatbeds. Land wheels first on the red X painted on the 4th car, then drive monster truck style over 8 more cars before rolling onto the ground. After some final preparations, Carson hits the accelerator and takes off down the track. At over 100 miles per hour, Carson's takeoff is perfect. But the impact of hitting the ramp causes his newly installed suspension to drop. The drag causes the car to come up short and land on one of the fire cannons as it ignites. After several flips, the smoldering car comes to a stop. Rescue crews are immediately on the scene.
I sure hope he's okay. Safety and rescue personnel with the doctor. Report to the Brian Carson car.
The fire crews use the jaws of life to remove Carson from the mangled wreckage. It takes over 30 minutes to extract him. When he finally emerges, he's uninjured. Carson may not have set a new record, but he did accomplish his main objective, a heart-stopping moment for his fans. August 2008, a 110-car freight train derails in the middle of Oklahoma. The train contains several tanker cars full of combustible crude oil and ethanol. The cars quickly catch fire, sending plumes of black smoke into the clear skies above the Sooner State. The train's conductor and engineer manage to get out of the danger zone in time. The area is rural, but state troopers and rescue workers take no chances. They evacuate anybody living in the area. A bus full of school children is stopped on the road, far too close to the out-of-control flames. 5 nearby fire departments arrive on scene, but can't get near the 1,500-degree flames. Then, the situation goes from bad to worse. An entire tanker car full of crude oil has exploded under intense heat and pressure. A news helicopter catches the massive fireball billowing hundreds of feet over the central Oklahoma plains. After 5.5 hours, a railroad hazmat team is finally able to close in on the fire. They spray flame-retardant foam around the tracks and on a nearby oil pump jack. The tactic works. Though nearly 24 hours later, some fires still burn. In the aftermath, one piece of the track was found to be bent. But the Federal Railroad Administration never determines an official cause. Fortunately, no firefighters, nearby residents, or the children on the sidetracked school bus were hurt. More than 300 spectators have gathered in Las Vegas to witness veteran stunt rider Seth Inslow's latest feat. A 200-foot jump over 70 Harley-Davidson motorcycles. Seth takes off on his 200-pound dirt bike toward the ramp. His launch is flawless. As Seth approaches the ramp on his Honda CR250, he reaches a takeoff speed of 70 miles per hour. But as he lands, the bike's front fork snaps, sending him skidding across the pavement. A cameraman rushes toward the crash. It appears Seth is severely injured.
Where's the ambulance?
To everyone's relief, Seth is back on his feet. The $5,000 bike is destroyed. Fortunately, the protective leather gear Seth wears instead of standard motocross equipment most likely saves him from serious injury. Racer Johnny the Jet Scarborough races in his $40,000 Dirt Sportsman modified car. The car has a 500 horsepower output and can hit speeds of up to 100 miles per hour. Tonight, Johnny races at New York's Fonda Speedway. Coming out of the first turn of the 4th lap, a bump sends him out of control. Racer clips Johnny's wedge-shaped car, which is sent spinning into the air at over 80 miles per hour. The car flips multiple times before hitting the guardrail and landing upside down on the track. Seconds later, the car bursts into flames, with Johnny still inside. After 12 full seconds trapped in the inferno, Johnny rolls out onto the track. He's on fire. Rescuers struggle to smother the flames. After several tense moments, they finally succeed. And soon, an ambulance is rushing Johnny to the hospital. The car continues to burn. Track workers fight the blaze with foam, water, and even dirt from the track. Almost 8 minutes after the crash, the flames are finally extinguished. The car is a total loss. Thanks to Johnny's fireproof safety gear, right down to his shoes and socks, he suffers only minor burns. 6 weeks later, in a new car, Johnny goes on to win the Sportsman Divisional title. Today, he's a 3-time Sportsman champion. Just as famous for the night he wiped out. Fountain Valley, California. Balloon enthusiasts from around the world gather at the Gordon Bennett Memorial Balloon Race. The race is strictly for gas balloons. The balloon that travels the furthest is the winner. But this event attracts a wide variety of aircraft that wow the crowd.
That's exciting.
One of the balloonists and his student co-pilot prepare for the race. The two step into the gondola and fill the balloon with hot air. Suddenly, a powerful gust of wind grabs the balloon and doesn't let go.
Oh my God.
The stiff wind propels the balloon across the parking lot. The pilot and the student co-pilot are trapped in the basket, frantically trying to fill the balloon so it can lift off the ground. Narrowly missing motorhomes and spectators, the balloon is unable to achieve lift and slams into a bandstand.
Oh my God.
The impact throws the pilot from the basket and onto a child. The inexperienced co-pilot is now at the controls. The balloon takes flight as rescuers rush to the fallen pilot's aid. The heavily damaged balloon drifts across the sky with its gondola dangling below. Thankfully, the student co-pilot knows just enough to land the crippled balloon safely. As for the pilot thrown violently from the gondola and the child he landed on, they suffer only minor injuries.
Oh my God.
Carbon County, Pennsylvania. Some believe this truck ramp, designed to stop accidents, is actually causing them. It's so dangerous, locals call it the suicide ramp. A TV cameraman is shooting a story about this controversial truck ramp. It's designed to safely stop runaway trucks. But some have complained that the gravel is piled too high and that the ramp should be straight, not curved. In an amazing coincidence, while the news camera rolls, a 12-ton freight truck loses its brakes and slams into the slopes. The front axle is torn off as the truck hits the third pile of gravel. It flips over and skids to a stop. The driver, who's not wearing a seatbelt, is violently thrown about the cab. The truck loses its entire load of aluminum casings and dumps 40 gallons of fuel. Emergency crews rush to the remote site off State Route 93. The driver suffers severe lacerations and loses a lot of blood. Because of this accident and others like it, the ramp is redesigned and rededicated. The ramp is now straight, and the gravel's been replaced with smooth stones. Now, trucks come to a controlled stop as their axles sink into the stone bed. The driver survives. His accident may have saved the lives of others. I'm Ron Pitts, and we'll see you next time on Destroyed in Seconds.